Hi guys, welcome to the weekly update. Have a look at some charts on Bitcoin. So before I start, I'll just plug me Discord, where I have a student membership. Read the information here. So cost, we have a maximum of 10 spots only. And here's, we only just started this a few weeks ago. And this guy is one of the first person in there, and he made his money back on his membership within 10 days, just by learning what you're going to see in my charts and taking some trades along with us. You know, I post trades here, I teach you order flow. If you don't have order flow, I show you what the NPOCs are that you see on my chart every single day. There's so far 23 videos on how to trade, and the first 20 were the basic trading videos, and now we've started to get into the more advanced stuff. And this guy watched all of that and has applied the information, taken some trades along with us, and thanks for coming, is what he said. So if you want to learn how to trade properly, this is your chance. There's only 10 spots available. Once they fill, I'm not taking any more people. It's be too much work for the little money that it makes. So you can find about this in Discord, okay, for anyone interested in learning how to trade like a professional. Let's have a look at some charts. So we'll start with the CME. Okay, we'll have a look. There's no gaps that we know of. We know it's come up in, excuse me, come up inside this gap, but it hasn't quite filled it. So I think from what I've seen here in the order flow, this drop here is just longs exiting, okay? And what will happen is if open interest picks up and they start buying, this will just keep pumping up and will go higher. So I'm expecting, you know, we're into the box, we're halfway up there, we're nearly at the top. Surely it's going to fill it, right? Let's see, this is the CME gap. Then we over here you can see the CME gap on this other chart on a bit stamp, not on the CME chart. Okay, on this one we have some interesting information which I've already shared with the students. You know, this is only a weekly update you get for free. You know, the students get all this sort of stuff on a daily basis. So we can see here on the weekly, when it gets above the white MA 144, it starts the bull run. Even here in the COVID crash, you can see it held it. Black swan event, came back up, held it. Here, the drop, bottom, went up, bull run. Here there was this was the first time here we were under it. Once we got up above and we tested it, we held it, and then up we went. So here it had a couple of candles go up and down, but there was no two candle closes above the white MA 144, even here. And then once it did get up, test it, off we went. Okay, so currently, fast forward to the current situation. There's the 144, and we can see we've had two candle closes above it. you do the maths. Okay, that's that chart. So look here at the high time frame charts. So we can see here this trend line on the RSI is nearly about to be hit for the 5-day. So we want to see what happens when it gets to that. If it continues out of that, well, we know this is bull mode. If we reject there, well, then that could be a spot for this to be perfectly fill that gap, because we're not far away from it, as you saw in the previous chart. Come up and touch this trend line and reject. We'll find out. So I'll set an alert for this trend line for the students, and it will be sent directly to the Discord, similar to this one here. Then I came in and said, don't go short in this, which this is a chart alert from my charts that I've set up for trades setups. Okay. They get sent directly here, so when I'm not at the chart and something happens and I'm not around, it'll come here, and then the students, knowing the knowledge that they know, can look at the chart and see if it's a valid trade or not. Okay, or they can wait for me to say, well, I've taken the trade. So we can see here, like I said, and then also down below, hasn't fully confirmed bull mode on the LMACD, as you can see. I'll wait for it to get up above to say, yeah, we're on. So that hasn't happened, okay? We also haven't had the touch of this blue line on the 5-day, which has happened every single time before. So there are a few things going against this being full bull mode, even though that weekly MA 144 where it's gone up above, maybe this time it's just, you know, this entire cycle that's done things it's never done before by breaking, you know, oh, never got above the MA 21 on the weekly and all of this. It never broke the MA 21, and then this cycle it did, and there was a lot of things this cycle it did that it never did before. So maybe, you know, these moving averages this cycle, the things won't play out like they did every time before because it's a different cycle. So there's a few things that can play out now. Is that is this full bull mode now? Are we in the bull market now from that one indication? Well, I'd wait a little bit more, as I said, for the weekly to get above this on the LMACD. I'd wait for see what happens at this RSI line, and also where is it? 5-day, sorry. Yeah, so we see what happens, and also if it gets up to 60, there could be a possibility of a black swan crash if this just keeps pumping straight up. Okay, turns it into a high probability of a huge liquidation event. So we also can, these moving averages, you can see here, you have to get above the white here on the 5-day. So there's a few things against the bull market already being back on. Okay, so there's a possibility it can still go down. Now let's have a look at the our favourite levels chart, right? I called this channel here in the Discord way back around about here, and then we can see it respected it, and we got in down here at this trend line, right? And then we came up through here, and then we tried a short somewhere around here. There was an MPOC somewhere around here that we tried. I think it was here. And then we tried another short, so I think up here. And then when we saw this, I posted in the Discord about it, which is the just here where I said I took the long, 78,500. Just here, and then we came up, tried a little short here, somewhere up here it was. There was another naked point of control, these MPOC levels. Anyway, and then I said no, that I'm getting out, it's not playing out. So we got out of that one, and it kept going up. And like I said, we're expecting it to fill the gap, which is this yellow box. Okay, if I was looking for a trade right now, there isn't one. Okay, the only trade is a long, because if you're going to short, well, you'd have to do it here. You can't short here. We're hitting this MPOC right at the moment. We're hitting this mini fixed range volume profile right here. You can see that I'm showing this square box. You can see we're at this orange line of it. Zoom in. See, we're at the value area low of this. We're at the VWAP. Okay, we're at an MPOC. So we can set some sort of reaction here, which we've had. And now what we want to see is this get back above the larger fixed range value area high and break through this fib level here and move back up. Once it gets back up into this channel that we've had here, as you can see, every time it goes out, it comes back in. So that's what we wait for. You can even get in a long one on the retest once it comes in and retests the channel, or you could have got in here when it was at this confluence here of all those things that I just mentioned, the VWAP, MPOC, and this VAL, this small fixed range volume profile, right? If you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, you can learn it all in the student section. Okay, so we have this, and what we need to see is for this to hold and move up into the channel, further up, go up to fill the gap. Okay, as I said, this has all just been longs getting out, so once we see some buying power come back in, this could easily just move straight back up. The other area that you would look for, let's have a quick look at some fibs. There's nothing really around there. The only thing you could really do is off this other channel that we had here on the chart, but if it falls down from here, then I'd look at it holding this, because it breaks back into here, well, it's going down to here, and we'll probably take out this MPOC. So currently, this MPOC was from yesterday. Now that's been taken, right? We can get rid of that. Now we have this one here that was formed overnight. So it could come up and touch that and reject, or just go up and get up above it and claim it and then move up. Or we have the other scenario where we lose all of this support here, come down, lose this channel, come down and get down into this MPOC and this area here, which is primed for a long, there'll be a lot of confluence through here. all this confluence down here. So this is just A grade setup down here. If it comes down this far, on the short side, you have to go to a higher time frame. You'll have to ignore how I'm messing my chart. Let's clean it up so we can see what's happening there. Okay, so on the high time frame, I've spoke about this trend line and how it broke it. Okay, come out, test it, come up. We're into this gap. So the only thing up above is this fib level, 0.72, or once we fill the gap, it drops down. If it comes down here, well, it could retest this yellow trend line and then bounce off, or we fall through it and then we make a final bottom. So there's two scenarios. This is a bullish scenario here because we've broken this long-term trend line. So for now, it's bulls. The bulls are in control, and I said we should fill this gap. If we're looking for a short somewhere up here, we'll probably be looking at an anchored VWAP. So let's have a look here. Turn one of these on and it will show us. It's not the one. That's not the one. Okay, we have to go to a higher time frame. This is the one here. The one from all-time high. Come down through here. And we're nearly at it right now. That's what I'd be looking at. Okay, like that. Anyway, let's just get rid of the channel so we can see. There we go. So this is the anchor VWAP here. We fill the gap. This is the area here, and that also lines up with my levels, which will now turn back on. SFP. So right at this number here in the chart lines up with this. CME gap, fill, come up, touch the VWAP, SFP of this red line, and then we have, and that's when it may have a drop. But for now, this is bullish. This is up, going up and up and up, forming bullish structure all the way along. And now it's broken this trend line. So you wouldn't be longing up here. Like I said, the long is at those areas I spoke about earlier. Okay, which is probably right about here if we have a move off here, or you wait for it to come down and take out this. Is the perfect setup. And the short, as I said. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. And yeah, if you want to learn how to do all of this, so you can trade yourself or come along and trade with all of us in the student section, you know where to go. See you next week.